So after a horrendous showing against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, I've heard a lot of commentary. I've read a lot of um, talk in relation to United's performance and what the problem could be and where the problem is. I've heard people talk about the fact that there's a toxic environment, people trying to shift the blame on the owners. Listen, the point is simple. Whether the environment is toxic or not, whether because of the instability at the top or not, the problem is that people need to start looking at Eric Ten Hag as the man to receive all the flack when this team is not performing. I'll start my argument from this point of view. Since Ten Hag came, he's spent close to 18 months, if not 18 months. He's been able to secure almost 12 to 13 players in this Manchester United team. Two of them are out, Weghorst and Sabitzer. So he's brought in a goalkeeper in Onana. He's brought defenders in Malacia, Johnny Evans, Regulion, Lisandro Martinez. He's brought in midfielders in Amrabat, Casemiro. He's brought in attackers in Anthony, in Hojland. Literally, an entire team. Somebody should tell me where the argument that he's not been backed financially enough. Because in 18 months, this guy has spent close to £500 million on player recruitment alone. In 18 months, there is no structure to this United team. There is no identity to this United team. A typical case is, and you see, when you are doing a holistic analysis, you need to compare it to other dynamics. Yes, somebody may say the environment at Spurs is totally different. It's not necessarily different. Spurs lost their leader in Harry Kane. Spurs, up until they bringing in Ange Postecoglou, had also recruited close to about 4 or 5 managers. They had sacked managers here and there. But Ange comes, and in barely 3, 4, 5 months, there is a resemblance of an identity to what he's trying to do. I'm not saying that Spurs, everything at Spurs is all rosy. All I'm saying is that at least this man has given you enough reason to say, okay, there is something about Spurs that I want to go and watch week in, week out. I'll give you a typical example. Unai Emery. What financial backing has Aston Villa have? Sorry. What sort of money do Aston Villa have? But if you look at Unai Emery's Aston Villa, there is enough stability, enough structure to the team for you to say that, okay, this is what Unai Emery is trying to do. But for my Eric Ten Hag, and you see, what pisses me off is his press conferences after games. He tells us the team is on an upward trajectory just after the Manchester City debacle, disgrace. He comes back and tells us that this team is progressing. Right after that press conference, they put up a disgrace showing against Newcastle. And he comes back to say, oh, let's blame him. He's responsible. Come on, Eric Ten Hag. Listen, for how long will this man be given the keys to unlock worse things happening at United? If you look at his record, it's abysmal, it's unthinkable. Honestly speaking, this man needs to be put in the spotlight. The fans need to put behind what the Glazers are doing. The fans need to put behind all the shenanigans about not spending and all of that. This man has been spending £500 million in barely 2 seasons. Come on. You bought a player for £70 million, close to £100 million. Look at Anthony. Just look at Anthony. Malacia has barely kicked the ball. Look at the players he's brought in. A manager is supposed to add value to players. What value has he added to a player like Malacia? What value has he added to a player like Anthony? What value has he added to a player like Rugin? I cannot even, on top of my head, I cannot even mention them. But close to 13 players this man has brought in. Yet, not a single one of them can start for any of the big teams in Europe. Name one player that Ten Hag has recruited that can start for Manchester City, that can start for Bayern Munich, that can start for Real Madrid. Then you want to sit here and blame the hierarchy, the Glazers. Come on, United fans, don't be fooled. This man needs to be questioned. If results do not change in their next 2, 3, 4, 5 games, I think that Erik Ten Hag should be sacked. There is no way he should handle Manchester United after their next 5 games. This man should go.